That's probably the worst thing we have in this whole museum. That Raggedy Ann doll was given to a nurse in 1970 by her mother as a Christmas present. But as most girls do, even 28 years old, she would take the doll to bed with her, wrap her arm around, and go to sleep. I do the same thing with a pillow. But then she started taking it to the breakfast nook, where the arms one morning went onto the table. Now, she lived with another nurse, and they shared the expenses of the apartment, which was 4 blocks away from Hartford Hospital.
Right.
At that point, they told the girls about the incident, and one said, "I know a medium." So they held a seance that night. That was the beginning of many seances with this doll. They would come home at night, and the woman had told them, the medium, that there was a spirit of a 6-year-old child in the doll by the name of Annabelle, who had been killed outside of their apartment house in an automobile accident. Well, there was such a child, but God does not allow a child's spirit to go into a doll. This was a devil, a demon, inside the doll, which was impersonating the spirit of a child. Well, they treated it like it was a child. They got extra clothing, and they got different types of bracelets and things for it, just treating it like a little girl. They would take it for rides. But then they started to become frightened when things were happening in the house, sounds, knockings, rappings, whispering. And they said, "Oh, Annabelle must want another seance." So they would hold a seance going deeper down that road of no return. Then they would take the doll and put it on the bedroom, in the bed, and they'd leave it there. They'd come home after midnight, the 2 girls, open up the door, and this doll would be standing there waiting for them. Now that doll can't stand. You can see it has very flimsy legs, but I've seen it stand. Now these are all the diabolical manifestations that we look for. Well, as time went on, one of the fiancés of one of the girls said, "Get rid of the doll, burn it, throw it away." He wanted to get rid of that doll. He fell asleep one Saturday afternoon. And the doll was put right across from him on a couch. And the girls were fooling around saying, "Well, now, Annabelle, you help us to clean up," just like it was a little kid. All of a sudden, he woke up with a start. He was sweating. He said, "My God," he said, "what a nightmare I just had. I dreamt that Annabelle there was strangling me, and he had marks on his throat. Was it psychosomatic?" Well, he walks over to the doll, he picks it up, and looks at it, and throws it right across the room. "You're nothing but a rag doll. You couldn't hurt anyone." With that, 7 slashes appeared on his body, 4 in the chest and 3 on the stomach. The blood came right through his shirt.
And you already know, on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable, and sometimes these people accountable. But if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get to stepping. During the period of slavery in the Americas, some enslaved individuals, drawing upon beliefs rooted in West African spiritual traditions, may have held beliefs that dolls or other objects could be imbued with spirits or supernatural power. Yes, Lorraine Warren did say that the Annabelle doll should never be moved. She and her husband, Ed Warren, were paranormal investigators who believed that the doll was inhabited by a spirit and warned that moving it could be dangerous. The doll is kept in a glass case at the Warren's Occult Museum, and there is a warning not to touch it. Make that make sense. And this woman told them, whatever you do, do not move that doll. And what did they do? They went on tour with it. And guess the first place they go to? New Orleans. And back in May, I did a video about it, and everyone laughed at this woman. Now, the same dude who laughed and recorded the video, he's dead. Man, run the tape. Make that make sense. And back in May, everybody laughed at her. Back in May, everybody called her crazy. The whole town, she was trying to warn them. And that's why I love New Orleans so much. And then a lot of people don't think that spirits can live in dolls. A lot of people think everything is about money. A lot of people think this was all some Hollywood BS. And this the crazy part. They really know how this dude died. Matter of fact, run the tape again.
Dan Rivera, the long-term caregiver of Annabelle the doll, has tragically passed away at age 54. He passed away on July 13th in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania during this leg of the Annabelle tour that they have been on. And as I said, he is her primary caregiver. He built the box that the doll is kept in, always handled her with care, with gloves, followed all of the rules. He's been with Annabelle for years. Cause of death is still unknown, not released. They likely won't release that because it's nobody's business. So, that being said, this is a tragic loss of life. Like I said, Dan was only 54. My condolences to Dan's family and loved ones, to Nesper, the people he's worked with so closely for years, and to the paranormal community as a whole for the loss that they have all now suffered. Rest in peace, Dan.
The Annabelle doll, as part of the Devils on the Run tour, has recently visited West Virginia, San Antonio, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It is expected to continue its tour throughout the summer with planned stops in Illinois and Kentucky in October. The tour aims to showcase the doll and other artifacts from the Warrens Occult Museum. Make that make sense. And I keep saying, ever since that doll left that museum, the country has been in chaos. Tell me I'm lying. First, when the Annabelle doll came to New Orleans, that same weekend, you had 10 inmates escape. You still have one of them on the loose, and right down the road in White Castle, Louisiana, you had the largest plantation completely burned down. And when the Annabelle doll went to Texas, now look at Texas. You have massive floods that just wiped out sundown towns. And I can go on and on. Tell me I'm lying. But this how cold the game really is. Check this out. And this article is by USA Today. It was published July 16, 2025. That's today at 2:42 p.m. Police find nothing unusual at scene of Annabelle doll handler's death. Pennsylvania State Police have released new information concerning the death of Dan Rivera, a paranormal investigator known for leading nationwide tours with the allegedly haunted doll Annabelle. Police said in the report that nothing unusual or suspicious was observed in Rivera's hotel room at the time of his death. The case is pending autopsy results, according to the law enforcement agency. Make that make sense. So you telling me a man that's 54 years old, y'all found nothing in his hotel that was suspicious? No drugs, no weapons, nothing connected to the Annabelle doll. Make it make sense. And we all know how and why he died, or is he dead? What if Annabelle just needed a new soul? And we all know about Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. That's a sundown town, and all they known for is the Civil War and Confederate flags. I keep telling y'all, the game is cold. So before I go, you know what? I don't have to read that. At the end, I love speaking from the heart. Look, the whole time, I feel like the soul that's trapped in the Annabelle doll is a black person. Just think about it. For this dude to die in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the same month of the Battle of Gettysburg, that's not suspicious. For that Annabelle doll to come to New Orleans, the same weekend, you had 10 black inmates escape, one still on the loose, and right down the road in White Castle, the largest plantation completely burnt down. That's not suspicious. And then you move on to Texas. Look at Texas. Massive floods just wiped out sundown towns. That's not suspicious. And look, I may be tripping. Y'all tell me in the comment section, am I tripping? Because if y'all saw the movie called Skeleton Key, if you saw that movie, if you know, you know. I'm out.